All right, Stanley, I'll be back in 30.
It's the decimator.
Greg has insuranoia.
Right. The decimator.
He's gone to great lengths to protect his car, so he never has to deal with his insurance company.
You've been decimated.
He should have NJM.
Where are you going, buddy?
They go to great lengths to do what's best for their policyholders.
He's with me.
Yeah!
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
It's just like a very cool way to prototype extremely quickly. If I go here in Figma, I just have this design here that I pulled together. I can just take the link. I can copy a link to selection.
All right. I'm just going to get started.
And I can just paste the link.
And if people come in, people come in. I don't give a fuck. I'm tired of waiting.
To implement
So,
the automation
if anybody
page.
has not been following what's going on
like 90%
in
of the way
the
there.
United Kingdom, you probably should, because it seems as if we are downstream from the UK when it comes to politics, but we are upstream when it comes to culture. So it seems like whatever goes on over in Europe on the political side eventually makes its way over here. And in the last week, there's been two major events that have happened. The final ruling in the Henrery Nowak case, which I will go over the case with you guys and let you know what happened. And yesterday, a 40-year-old white man was attacked in the middle of the street by a Sudanese immigrant, and they attempted to take his head off, literally. The guy's fighting for his life right now. He's in the ICU, probably going to be blind for the rest of his life, may not make it through. The entire attack was caught on video by this 60-year-old woman who was filming it from her house. I can't show it on YouTube because I will automatically get banned. If you guys want to look on Twitter, it's out there. So I brought up a couple news articles. This one is from the Irish Independent. This is the pretty much the premier newspaper in Ireland. So let me get back over to that page real quick. I'm sorry. I'm still trying to figure out StreamYard a little bit. Okay. Man charged with attempted murder as masked youths gather in protest over Belfast knife attacks. Yeah, they're protesting pretty hard. They stole a bus and lit it on fire. We'll jump on X after I read this article, and we'll go to some of the live coverage. A man arrested on suspicion of the Belfast knife attack has been charged with attempted murder, police have said. The 30-year-old accused is also charged with possession of an article with a blade or point in a public place and making threats to kill. He is due to appear at Belfast Magistrates Court on Wednesday. The victim of the attack, a man aged in his 40s, remained in serious condition in the hospital on Tuesday, receiving treatment for serious eye, face, and back wounds. Word is he will probably lose his eyesight permanently. There has been widespread condemnation of Monday night's knife assault. Protesters have set fire to a glider bus on the Newtownards Road in East Belfast this evening. Disorder broke out in an anti-immigration demonstration following Monday night's attack. It is understood the bus has been hijacked before being set alit. Around 200 masked men and youths also broke away from the main protest gathering at Newtown Abbey. Police have deployed tactical support group units in the area with a police helicopter overhead. I'll tell you what, you pissed off the wrong people, because this isn't Antifa. These guys are ready to go to war over this stuff. And I don't think they care about the consequences. And I don't think that the police in Belfast or anywhere in the EU is equipped to handle the protests that are coming, because they are going to be out of control. Police commanders and political leaders have appealed for calm. Meanwhile, detectives have said there is no indication the attack was terror-related. I mean, when you allow millions of immigrants into your country with no paperwork, no way to trace them, how do you know if it's a terrorist attack or not? Honestly. You probably couldn't even ID the guy. The police service of Northern Ireland has launched a critical incident in response to the incident, which was captured on video and appears to show a man stabbing at the victim's head and neck while he was lying on the ground. The clip shows people, including one with a hurling stick, intervening to stop the man attacking the victim in a residential area close to the busy Antrim Road in North Belfast. Yeah, it wasn't a stick. It was a spade shovel that the man had to repeatedly hit the immigrant with to get him off of the victim. If you have not seen the video and you have the stomach for that kind of stuff, go on Twitter. It's all over. I am not showing it on my YouTube channel and getting clipped for it. I'm good on that. I'm already on thin ice. I'm already on thin ice. I'm not even monetized yet, so we already know how this is going. So if you want, it's on X. The clip shows people. Yeah, okay, yeah, all right. A kitchen knife was recovered from the scene. That's fantastic. What happened so far? Police confirm the man has been charged over North Belfast incident and will appear in court in West Belfast. Man who fought off knifeman with Hurl named as GoFundMe setup. House attack and van burnt out after disorder in Dundonland. God, they got some weird names over there. This was the scene tonight in Dundonland after several vehicles suffered fire damage. An adjacent home's window were also smashed after a number of people threw masonry at the property. The Belfast Telegraph understands a family of foreign nationals were in the home as the attacks occurred. Earlier disorder in the area saw crowds gathered and attacking police. As light fell, the Belfast Telegraph has received video footage of the aftermath of this disorder in Butte Park. The footage seen by this newspaper shows a house which has been attacked and windows smashed and a van still burning after being set alight. Damn, they backed the van right into the people's house. Firefighters working to tackle house fires on Crumlin Road. First Minister condemns outright thuggery amid disorder. Groups of masked men burning families out of their homes is nothing less than disgusting cowardice. Well, I'm going to keep it real. I don't agree with burning somebody's house down. But when you live in a surveillance state, like the EU has become, you have no choice but to cover your face when you're walking the street if you don't want a fucking jaywalking ticket. So that is the result of the EU surveillance policies, and people are tired of it. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's coming here, right? We have 3,500 active data centers in the country right now. The proposed data center, the one that they want to build in Utah, has enough memory to store every phone call, text message, social media post since the internet started for the next 500 years. That's how much memory the one data center in Utah is proposed to have. So it's not for cloud storage, guys. Like, wake the fuck up. If you don't know why this is going on to prevent what's going on in Ireland right now and what's going on in the UK. They want to be able to stop an uprising before it gets anywhere. So if you don't think that there's going to be mass surveillance on our text messages, our phone calls, our social media posts, you're out of your mind. That is the only thing that much computing storage space could possibly be used for. Either that, or we're going to live in a bubble, a box, and have goggles on for the rest of our life. And they're planning on leaving us in AI virtual reality forever. Because there's literally no other reason for that many data centers to be built other than real-time active surveillance, which is what eats up the memory. The attack in North Belfast was heinous and wrong, but there are dangerous attempts to exploit that target. Hold on. And attack innocent people who are simply trying to live and work and raise their families here. Racism, intimidation, and violence are wrong wherever they occur. There can be no excuse and no justification for these attacks tonight. No one wants to see this on our streets, and I again appeal for calm. You guys want to read the comment section? Because I guarantee she's getting lit up right now. Shut the fuck. Let's go make a cake. It's precisely because of the thick, rancid, traitorous cunts like you that Belfast throughout Northern Ireland is on fire right now. You've welcomed retarded, savage men from third world shitholes, lawless countries where Western values are detested and females are treated like chattel. By God, we will have our home again. Doing nothing and calling for restraint will not prevent Africans from beheading Irish people. Mass deportations and immigration reform will. Stop the boats. Yeah, so the immigration problem in Ireland and Scotland and France and London is not like it here is in the United States, because they're not coming across the border. They're coming in boats and landing on the shores. And it is a little bit more challenging to stop that kind of migrant takeover than it is to how would I say it? Reconstruct a border wall, build a border wall, reinforce an existing border. You know what I mean? All these guys are coming on boats in the middle of the night when it's dark and landing. And as soon as they land, they hit the ground running. Congratulations on your 2 virtue signal points. You are a traitor to your country. If not for people like you, there would not have been any beheadings, and there would not have been any angry people on the streets tonight. Appealing for calm achieves fucking nothing. That's been the only thing they've done in Europe for 20 years. It's not making the violence stop, and the people have had enough. You are an object lesson for why women should have neither the ability to vote nor internet access. Coward, absolute coward. People have their justification, you silly bitch. You gave it to them because you are too fucking scared of being called racist than using your eyes you were born with. Coward. People don't want their community flooded with undocumented, unvetted criminals, but you don't listen. Who voted for mass migration? People don't want mass migration, and you continue to ignore the people. Yeah. We will be sending politicians to prison. You might want to choose your words carefully. Yeah, you know what? Auguste prompt. We heard that over here too. And nobody's gone to prison. not a politician, nobody in Big E's files, nobody. Not Fauci. Nobody's gone to prison, and nobody's going to go to prison, because I'm sure it is the same way over there that it is over here. They are all one big party, and we are not in it. And that is the reality of the situation. We are not in it. Yeah, that is that's an image of that man last night. You wouldn't be saying that if it was one of your family members getting his head cut off, you little witch. God is watching you. Why do politicians talk to their electorate as though they are parents and we are adolescent, misbehaving, illegitimate children? Nobody condones violence. Your banal EU subordinate view on freedom of movement and asylum is the reason for the satanic torture and anarchy on your streets. Own it. It's all you're doing, mommy. Yeah. Yeah. So they are not happy in the UK. It's pretty wild. Let's see. Alright. Share this tab. Make sure. Okay. Alright. See if I can get it. Yeah, this is suspected HMOs are being burned out across Northern Ireland following the attempted beheading of a man by a Sudanese invader last night. Oh, they're going wild in Northern Ireland. Yeah, I can't show that. I've just heard paramilitaries are ready to get involved in tonight's protests in Belfast. There's some people you really don't want to piss off. Again, that is exactly what I said. These are not Antifa protesters. These are grown men with balls.
They just punched him.
What the fuck?
Holy shit, man. Oh! Holy fuck. They just kicked this whole car.
Shit! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Wow.
Oh my god!
Wow. Belfast, Northern Ireland, trouble across every major UK city tonight. Wait until hyperinflation kicks in and more people have nothing to lose, all by design. Yep. Again, I agree. It is all by design. No, I can't get a copyright strike for that music. Yeah, these guys aren't out here to play, man. All right, let's see
It's tense over there.
let's see what he's got to say.
Is on fire right now, and this all comes on the heels of a shocking video that came out just last night where a Sudanese migrant, was found in the middle of the street conducting what I can only describe as an ISIS style or terrorist style beheading of a Belfast man there in the middle of the street. He was interrupted. He was stopped in his tracks by a group of men who came by, a group of locals who came by before the police, I might add. And the film is one of the most horrific things I've seen. I would say it's the most horrific thing I've ever seen, but this just comes on the heels a couple weeks after the Henrery Nowak video that was just released in another part of the UK. This is, of course, Northern Ireland, but still part of the UK. And you could see the individual's face is covered in blood. He's attempting to saw through the neck, isn't able to do so. So they were able to save his life. But what's happened now in Belfast is Northern Ireland is responding that they are done with the migration policies. They are completely done with everything. You're seeing now hundreds of men dressed in black who are out there. And Steve, here's what's really interesting. You've seen, certainly Northern Ireland is no stranger to scenes like this, but what's different here is this isn't about Protestant Catholic. It's not about Northern Ireland versus the Republic of Ireland. This is not the trouble. This is not the troubles. It's not. Well, it is the troubles. It's the new troubles. It's a different kind. It's the new troubles. That's for sure. But it's in a different direction because you're seeing Catholics and Protestants on the same side. That's what I was getting at, Steve. Is that they're on the same side now. This is very much about the old inhabitants, the original inhabitants of these isles, Ireland and the British Isles, and the newcomers, and they are done. The people are just done.
I want to frame this for a second. We've sent Kevin over. Your brother's done great reporting for us all over the place.
And he was in Northern Ireland for a piece of that.
But we sent him to the Republic of Ireland, which has a horrible migrant problem. You're starting to see the beginning of a MAGA or populist nationalist movement there, but they're under different law. The Northern Irish are under British law. I mean, that's one of the issues. And this is with Nigel and the guys that, they're sometimes not the focus like the Tommy Robinson. Tommy Robinson's actually trying to pull this together. He's trying to unite, although an Englishman, he's trying to unite Northern Ireland and the Republic in some sort of combination here to let people know, hey, it's one Ireland. And this migration, this migrant policy, whether it's coming out of London or coming out of Dublin, is not acceptable to the people of Ireland. Is that correct?
Well, Steve, that's exactly right. So you're seeing folks like Tommy Robinson as well as Conor McGregor, so an Englishman and an Irishman, who are both in complete agreement here, which is not typically the case when you're discussing something that happened on the streets of Northern Ireland. You're seeing Protestants and Catholics. You're seeing folks who, perhaps their fathers had come to blows or even worse during the Troubles, and they're coming up and saying, "Look, this isn't about those divisions anymore, and we can take care of that at this point." But this has now become existential. It becomes existential, Steve, because they are going after, they're beheading people in the streets. They're killing sons. They're raping daughters. It's got to stop. Enough is enough, and that's what this is. We could be looking at the makings of an uprising here.
Yep. I think they are. I think that they have had enough between Henrery Nowak, that final verdict coming down on the 1st, which is just over a week ago, and now this. I don't think the UK is going to be able to hold it together much more. It's getting real over there. And I can't say I blame them, man. Like, millions of people are flooding their country just like they did here. Nobody asks for that. Nobody wanted it. Nobody agrees with the policy of it. And it's a two-tiered justice system. Just like they used to say it's a two-tier justice system here. And white people have white privilege when it comes to court. Well, it's a two-tier justice system over there. And it's the exact opposite. Henrery Nowak got stabbed by himself walking down the street. The attacker was with his brother, and his brother suggested that they call the police and claim that Henry racially attacked them after they had already stabbed him. So the police come and put Henry in handcuffs. And Henry, this is all on body cam footage. Henry is choking on his own blood and saying to the officer, "I've been stabbed, I've been stabbed." And you hear the officer look at him and he's like, "Oh, you've been stabbed, mate? Really? Really? You've been stabbed? I don't think so. I think you're fine." Henrery Nowak died in the exact spot that he told that officer that he was stabbed 6 times. 6 times Henry told that officer that he was stabbed, and they didn't even bother to check him. Because they have convoluted racism so much that being called a racial slur it now takes precedent over violent attacks, over physical attacks. There are people, thousands of people, sitting in jail in England right now for stuff that they posted on the internet. And if you don't think it's coming here, again, the data centers, the one data center in Utah has enough storage space to store every phone call, every text message, every social media post from everybody that's been on the internet from the start of the internet for the next 500 years. So it's not storage space that they need. It's computing power. Because real-time surveillance uses much more computing power than keeping a file on somebody and having their social media posts in a file or their text messages in a file. No, it's real-time surveillance. So you can trust and believe that our privacy is going to be non-existent. They will be listening to our phone calls. They will be reading our text messages. They will be monitoring our social media posts. They will be monitoring our YouTubes. They will anything that they can monitor, they are going to monitor in real time. Specifically, so we don't end up getting rowdy like they are in the UK. Their goal is to prevent it from happening. They want to squash the uprising before it even happens, because the fact is, and I don't know what it's going to look like when it happens, right? I'm not sure anybody really does. All I know is that we have more guns than people in this country. So when it pops off here, like if it really pops off, it's going to be a serious problem. It will be a serious problem. And the government is fully aware of that. And the government is also fully aware that the trajectory that the country is on right now is heading us there quicker than later. Because the quickest way to get there is affordability. When you have people that can't afford to live, people that are doing the right thing, that are waking up, going to work, busting their ass for 40 hours, 50 hours, 60 hours a week, and they still can't get by. They're still living paycheck to paycheck. So when you hit that point, what do you have left? Like, I have a younger brother. He's 12 years younger than me. Okay. I'm about to be 40. The kids his age, unless they went to a 4-year school and they got a doctorate and they started off making money, they're all fucked. And they know they're fucked. So I don't know what's going to happen when the boomers are gone. But, like, you want to know why there's street takeovers and Walmart's getting looted and Targets and all that stuff's going on. You got all these stores closing in LA because of theft. It's because people can't afford anything. They wouldn't have to do that shit if they could afford to live. But we're getting squeezed from every direction. Literally, it feels like we're getting squeezed from every way possible. It's like the politicians know that the ship is sinking. So, since they know it, and they just haven't admitted it to us yet, they're just pillaging everything that they can while they can, while there's anything left to pillage. And that is the sad truth of what America has become and what America is right now. And I don't know how we fix it. I don't know how we fix it, man. I wish I did. I wish I knew how to fix it. You know what? I'm going to end the stream and I'm going to come back with a different title. That's what I think I got to do.